Hey everyone, welcome back to Sandro Says. Today we are here with something special. I like to do box breaks, and I, as a kid, collected hockey cards. That's actually one of the things that got me into the sport. So I saw they had the Upper Deck Series 1 tin on sale. It's like a blaster box, but in a tin. I figured it's 12 packs. Or what, I think it's 9 packs, 12 cards per pack, so they're pretty thick packs. Let's get into it. Islanders are having a huge year this year so far. I'd really like to get a Matthew Schaefer rookie, so we'll see what we can get. Please leave a like on the video, and let's dive into these packs. Alright, so first they gave me this exclusive pack, I guess, just for buying the tin. It's like an extra pack, a bonus, probably, nothing in here important, but thoughtful of them to give us a gift. So it has a Dazzler in here, Jonathan Marchessault. So let me get my little camera on there to show what I'm getting. William Eklund and Dalibor Dvorsky. Not familiar with him. I'm not as good with the players as I was as a kid. As a kid, I got the packs and I learned every team. What I loved about hockey cards especially was you got to see all the different jerseys, all the hockey pads, the goalie pads, and seeing the different goalies, what they wore was my favorite part. Their helmets, I would collect just the goalie cards and keep them separate. So, anyway, I am really looking for some Islanders here. And anything that looks interesting, I will be sure to put over. Okay, we have an Upper Deck canvas card. So let me clear out these sparkling things. Dazzlers, I think they call them. And this is a canvas card for Kyle Connor from Winnipeg. It's not a glossy card like the rest of these. Here's an OPG, Travis Konechny. I like when they do the old OPG things. They throw them in. It's an OPG glossy. We have an Upper Deck portrait of, I don't know how to say some of these names, so I apologize if I'm wrong. It's a Blackhawk, Artyom Levshinov. So throw that in there. And then some base cards. But all right, my first Islander, we got Pierre Engvall, formerly of, I believe, the Senators? I forget exactly where we got Engvall from. It was either, I believe, oh, I'm sorry, no, he was a Maple Leaf. All right, second pack. Good first pack. I got an Islander, and I got some interesting looking cards. I collect cards not to make bank off of hits. I collect them because I like the way they look. I like to trade them with friends, sell them, give them away to friends that I know were fans of that team. So, Morgan Riley. We got Naz Kadri in a beautiful version of the Calgary Flames uniform there. Okay, so here's my OPG from this pack. I don't know if there's going to be one OPG in every pack. We'll find out. Alexander Barkov from the Panthers. We have a Sizzle Reel pack with Quinn Hughes. Or Sizzle Reel card, not pack. The Upper Deck portrait from this pack is a Ranger, boo, Gabe Perreault. Not even going to show that. I'm just kidding, I'll show it. I don't need to be a hater, at least on these streams. Jacob Trouba, former Ranger. We got Paul Cotter, Jackson Blake, and Anze Kopitar, the Capitan for the Kings. Pretty nice. Always a big Kopitar fan. And I'm glad the Kings went back to those jerseys. It's about time. Alright. Third pack. I might clean things off in a second if it's getting messy over there. So I got to be honest, the way that they're putting the name on the base cards is tough because it's a reflective silver, and it's like you really have to kind of study the card to see it. Now there's a Nick Suzuki I'm showing you. And that's my example of how hard it is to see. Maybe I'm just getting old. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Jonas Corpusalo, love that name. And again, you get to see the goalies. You get to see up closes on their masks and stuff. This is really cool stuff. I always appreciated that. Here's a Bustle card, Brady Tkachuk. Pride of America right now, heading off to the Olympics next month. We have a Young Guns card, another Ranger. Wow, what luck do I have? Matthew Robertson. We have a pretty nice Rasmus Dahlin card. Compositions. This is beautiful. It's not numbered or anything, but that's a beautiful looking card. Wow. I'll put that sideways for a second. I'll just pile on top of them. And then I'll clear it off. Linus Olmark, another beautiful goalie card where you get to see the details. Okay, cool. Let's clean this off now and make it nice and fresh for the next set. I just remember collecting these with my dad as a kid. He was always really cool with. We'd go to card shows and he'd let me get packs and stuff, and we'd basically collect, whole teams. Like we lived in New York, so we collect the Islanders obviously. And then at the time the Devils were getting big, so we definitely were collecting the Devils. It was the early 90s. He's a big Brodeur fan, my dad. We got Tyler Bertuzzi, Rube Hintz. Casey Cizikas, nice. An Islander. I'll leave him as the placeholder right now. Mikhail Sergachev with the Utah jersey from last year before they were the Mammoth. Here's the OPC from this pack. It is a Victor Hedman, one of my favorite players. The player the Islanders probably should have taken instead of Tavares, but it is what it is. Interesting. A Jeremy Swayman card. A Cup Quest card for Roman Josi. I have a Roman Josi jersey. It's pretty sweet. I love the Predators uniform, their colors, everything about them. Again, here's a Utah card and the Connor Ingram, and his helmet is like, it's white and then it has like a design on it with like light blue, so it almost looks like he's wearing white, but it's not. There's a design on there. So, all right. Anyway, moving on. I just get fascinated by goalie helmets and goalie pads. I'm a nerd like that. If you too like goalie stuff, please let me know in the comments. I had a book in my. I have a book. It's somewhere in my collection at home. Growing up, it was called Masked Men, and it was the history of the goalie mask, at least through the 90s. So that was always pretty sweet. I love that. I used to just look through that and just draw. Alexander Nedljovic, I assume is the name. David Pasternak. That's someone I wish was on the Islanders. Here's an Islanders young. An upper deck canvas young gun for Jacob Skarek. Now, I am not familiar because of the goalie situation in the Islanders. I figure I'd hear his name more often, but I haven't. Here's a young guns for Carter Mazur from the Red Wings. We have a Sidney Crosby compositions card, so I'll always throw that up there. As much as I don't like Sidney Crosby, he's so famous and he's so popular, might as well show it. And another. Oh no, this is. Well, it says Rickard Rackle, but it shows Sidney Crosby. So that's bizarre. Or is that? I'm sorry, maybe it isn't. I thought Crosby's numbers are 87. This is 67. I'm sorry. They do look alike. I mean, maybe be the judge. You be the judge in the comments. How far off am I about that? Maybe am I? I just really need to get my eyes checked. All right, coming down to I think our last 2 or 3 packs here. I've enjoyed the hell out of this so far. I've gotten an Islander that I need to research in Jacob Skarek, and some other sweet cards. Some Ranger cards I can sell because their fans will always be on eBay buying stuff. Sam Lafferty, Mason McTavish, the son of Craig McTavish, the last man to not wear a helmet in the NHL. He was grandfathered in once they started forcing them. Here's an Encore card, a Wyatt Johnson Encore. And an Upper Deck portrait. I didn't get one last round, so I'm wondering if this is not every pack. But either way. So the Upper Deck portraits, it looks to be their draft card, or their draft portrait mixed with an NHL, or maybe it's actually just their headshot for the team yearbook mixed with the helmet shot. So I'll put that on there so you can see what I'm talking about. Here's a young gun with Ozzy Weissblatt. And then some other regular cards. Andrei Vasilevsky, one of the best goalies in the world. Always such an interesting number choice, number 88 for a goalie. I'm an old school guy where they were only in the 30s or number 1. So, but that's a much bigger deal in the NFL. So I'm not even gonna bring that up right now for my NHL friends. All right, cool. Right off the bat, Adam Pelech having a great year for the Islanders. One of the best defensive defensemen in the league, and he's actually adding in some offense this year. Elias Pettersson from the Canucks. Vincent Trocheck. No love for him. Evgeny Malkin. I mean, I'm not a fan, but he's been one of the most consistent guys in the league. We have Jeremy Swayman. Here's our OPG from this pack. JT Miller. This must have been a Rangers box. They must have known that I was an Islanders fan and said, let's screw this poor kid and give him a bunch of Ranger cards. All right, sizzle reel. We got Nathan McKinnon on the sizzle reel. Now that's a nice card. I'll cover up the Jacob Skarek with that. And then we have... This card's nice. Here's Robert Thomas. It's showing off the Winter Classic uniform for St. Louis there, which some people liked, some people didn't. And then here's Nico Hischier with the famous New Jersey jersey, which I'm still looking to get. I wanted to get one with Jack Hughes because he's number 86. That's my birth year. But they sold out in my size, so I'm waiting until they restock. But the jersey is just hilarious because I collect jerseys, so the idea that I would get a jersey with the words jersey on it, like it's labeled. And then I think the Devils, they leaned into it at the time when they came out with the stuff. I believe they released a hat that said hat in the same font and like styling. So it was smart how they did that, in my opinion. If you're going to have something silly and people are going to, or if you're going to do something that people realize is silly and then they're going to make fun of you, just lean into it, because otherwise you're screwed. So, Cam Fowler, Brandon Duheim, I don't know how to say that. Anyway, here we go. Our young gun for this pack is Oliver Moore from the Blackhawks. We have a goal-oriented card for Sidney Crosby. And that's it. Those are the only things non-base that I got. So I will be probably listing some of these on eBay, and some of these will go right into the collection. But I'm excited about the ones I got. I think it's fun to open these packs and just see the different jerseys, learn about some new players you didn't know about, and give you something to look up and have fun with. So let me know in the comments what you thought. Let me know some of your memories of opening packs. And I'll see you next time on Sandro Says. Take care.